Shalom, shalom, Israel. There's no saint left behind. Coming at you one more time with another hopefully edifying video. First, I just want to start out with saying, Kawallah Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Kwadash. That's all praises to the Most High, in the name of His Son, and in the name of the Holy Spirit. All right, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the Akims out there that's teaching this word in faithfulness and rehearsing the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability. Well, we had some more chariots spotted yesterday in Mexico. And y'all would call them UFOs. You know, they chariots of Israel, clouds, whirlwinds, you know, horsemen, whatever the Bible calls them, that's what they are. They are vehicles of the Most High and the angels. All right, so we're going to get into this video. This was on security team, which he got it off of YouTube for some Issacharite brother in Mexico, so-called Mexican Issacharite brother. He recorded this live on Twitter. It was live on Twitter. So I'm gonna play this, and then we'll go to a couple of scriptures and see if you can get edified. But the Most High is visiting the earth, man. He's showing his vehicles, which y'all calling UFOs, but they're chariots of the Most High. Let's watch this.
¿Detrás de La Palma? Estamos aquí en vivo en Rosarito y no sé si alcanzan a mirar, pero hay un chingo de ovnis aquí a la verga. Hay uno. Wow, me están dando escalofríos esta madre. Hay un chingo de policías por todos lados. A ver, ¿cuánto sabe? ¿Cuánto sabe? Hay varios, abuelita, hay varios. Estamos aquí en Rosarito en vivo y hay un chingo de ovnis por todos lados. No se mueven. Ahí hay otro, ¿verdad? What the fuck? ¿Qué pedo? No, oye, abuelita, diga lo que está pasando aquí.
En Rosarito hay un montón de ovnis, nos estamos viendo en vivo.
Estamos aquí en Rosarito, vamos saliendo de Rosarito para San Diego y estamos aquí parados porque pues hay un chingo de cosas volando en el cielo que no sé qué pedo, la neta. Ahí está uno. Dos. Ahí está otro al fondo. Ahí está otro al fondo. Es uno, dos, tres, y atrás de la palma. Y atrás de la palma, otro.
Yes, so this was spotted in Mexico in like 24 hours ago, man. It was like 3 or 4 of them. And I'm telling you, man, the Most High Yahweh, you know, he's got his angels. He said he's going to visit the earth, man, in the last days. Matter of fact, let's get that script right quick, man. Let's go to 2nd Ezra, man. We're going to start at 9. 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1, and I'm going to read 1 and 2. But it says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest parts of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the earth. Excuse me, when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And this is talking about Yahweh, man. The Most High, he's visiting the earth now, man. They seeing more and more sightings of these so-called UFOs, unidentified flying objects, but we call them IFOs, which means identified flying objects, because we know what they are. We know that they're the chariots of Israel, man. That's the same thing who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai. Same thing he went up in. Same thing Elijah went up in. Same thing Enoch went up in. These are the same vehicles, man. These are the same chariots, clouds, whirlwinds, whatever the Bible call them, that's what they are, man. And I'm going to read verse 3 too. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. But, I mean, these are the signs that they was talking about, especially in Matthew 24, man. We done had earthquakes, you know, the oceans, the rivers have roared, which was the tsunamis, and the hurricanes. I mean, we done had the blood moon. We done had the eclipse. I mean, we've seen so many signs in the heavens, man. So we are at the end, and it's time to come back and repent, man. Come back to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. That's his name. The father's name is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. They have Hebrew names. We are Hebrews, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. It's time to come back. This thing is for real. And if you notice, under these chariots, these so-called UFOs, they had 12 lights, which represents the 12 tribes of Israel, man. And this reminded me of the chariot that this Edomite, so-called white man, seen over Walmart about 2 weeks ago. And I'm going to go show you that too, because they look identical the same, man. So I'm going to show you that chariot too. And this is the reason why Donald Trump, man, is got his space on me, man. He's preparing to fight, you know, Michael and the archangels and Yahweh Shai when they come, man, when they return. You know, we're not gonna go into too depth with all these scriptures. You should know it by now. You know, go watch other previous videos. It's got all these scriptures in it. And so I'm gonna show you this chariot, because this chariot look just like the one he seen the Issacharite brother, the so-called Mexican brother, seen yesterday in Mexico, man. He seen like 3 or 4 of them, and this is the one that was seen over Walmart about 2 weeks ago, man.
I'm shooting a video of this at Walmart.
And if you know it, these chariots got 12 lights on the bottom. The ones he seen in Mexico yesterday, and this one that I heard that was spotted, 2 weeks ago. They got 12 lights on the bottom of them. And these lights represent who? The 12 tribes of Israel, man. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Parking lot, and it's a perfect circle with the lights around it in the parking lot. This isn't fake video. You can see my kids. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen. There's no reflection, there's no anything. It's just coming down. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It's not moving, it's just sitting perfectly still, right above the clouds. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know.
Reason?
Say hi, Leah, so people know it's real.
Hi.
Hi. It's not a reflection from a light or anything. Oh, you say hi too. Say hi, I'm Liam, I'm Batman. That is so weird.
So you see that, man, and they have 12 lights on the bottom, which represents the 12 tribes of Israel. And I'm going to show you, man, this is what Elijah was caught up in. Let's get that scripture, man. Let's go to see what Elijah was caught up in. This is what Elijah was caught up in, man. Let's go to 2 Kings. And then we're going to go to show you that Yahweh Shai, who you ignorantly called Jesus, went up in the same thing. All right, and this is this is 2 Kings 12, 11, and I'm going to read 12 too. And it came to pass, this is verse 11, and it came to pass, as they still went on, this when Elijah and Elisha was walking on and talked, Elijah is talking to Elijah, which Elijah was his right-hand man, Elisha, that's what they call him, Elisha, and Elijah. And they was walking on, and Elijah and Elisha was wanting double the portion of He's wanting to gift the power, the spiritual power that Elijah had. And so if you read up, it'll tell you about all that, but I'm not going to read up. I'm just going to get into this. And Elijah told him, if you see me taken up, and then you should receive double of the spiritual powers that I had, which he's seen them. And we're going to get into that right here. And it says, and it came to pass, verse 11, and it came to pass as they still went on and talked that, behold, there appeared a chariot of fire. And so this is what they call a chariot of fire, man, because they seen the lights on it, and it was like fire, man, and it's flying in the sky. You notice that they seen the chariot of fire and horses of fire. You know, and these horses represents the angels. You know, this represents the power, you know, and that represents the angels, man. And I'm going to get into, I got a video of a dude tell you he's seen he's seen the angels getting out the chariots, man. So-called Edomite. I'm going to show y'all that too. But it says let me read over. And it came to pass as they still went on and talked that, behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. When it said parted them both asunder, that means that have you ever watched Star Trek when they're talking about beam me up, Scotty, when the light shine on them and then they're beamed up? That's what this is. When it parted them asunder, that means the light shined on Elijah and didn't shine on Elisha. All right, and it says, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. So now it went from calling the chariot of fire to a whirlwind. So it lets you know that the chariots, the whirlwinds, and the clouds, and the horses of fire are all the same things, man. Them the Most High vehicles, what the so-called white man, the Edomites, call UFOs. All right, verse 12. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them into pieces. So this is the same thing. This is the same thing that Elijah went up in, man. And not only Elijah, but Yahweh Shai went up in these chariots as well. And we're going to go up in these chariots if you are faithful to the Most High and you rehearse His law, statutes, commandments, and call on His name, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. You know, because He said the dead in Yahweh Shai shall raise and meet those which are living, which are still living, to meet Him in the clouds, which is these chariots. You know, matter of fact, let's get that. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get that. Let's go ahead and get that right quick, and then we'll get back into this thing. Let's go to First Thessalonians. Let's go ahead and get that, because these are the vehicles. These are the clouds that, if we're faithful and remaining and still in doing the will of the Most High Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai, we're gonna be caught up in this, man. If you in that elect number, in that 1/3. Let me see. Let me go to 13. Let me read verse 13. It says, but I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren. Let me highlight these things so you'll know where I'm at. Verse 13. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. Verse 14, for if we believe that Yahweh Shai died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahweh Shai will Yahweh bring with Him. Verse 15, for this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remaining unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. So he's saying if we which are alive, if we're alive when Yahweh shall return, those that have died and went to sleep, we should not prevent them. I mean, we should not be called up before them. They're going to be called up before us, and then we'll be called up. Verse 16, for the Lord Himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet of Yahweh, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. So those which are dead going to rise first. Verse 17. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. He says, wherefore, 18, wherefore comfort one another with these words. So he said we're going to be caught up in the air to meet him in the air, which we could say we're going to be caught up together with them in clouds. And this is the clouds, my people. These are the clouds that you're going to be caught up in, these chariots, these so-called UFOs. If you're remaining, you're going to be beamed up. Like they said, beam me up, Scotty. That's why the Bible said they're going to be shocked at the amaze of our salvation, man. This is what we're going to be caught up in as well. All right, let me see. And let me show you that this is what Yahweh Shah was caught up in, who you even called Jesus, man. He was caught up in these chariots, so-called UFOs. All right, we're going to go to Acts 1 and 11? Matter of fact, I'm going to start at 9 to show you that this is what it is. Acts 1 and 9. And when he had spoken these words, while they beheld, this is when Yahweh Shai has this when after he was crucified, he had risen back. And so now he's talking to the disciples before he descend up into the heavens. And when he had spoken these words, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. This is the cloud that received him. Matter of fact, this is the cloud I believe that received Yahweh Shah right here. You see this? This is on the outside of earth. This is a chariot. You see that? That's a so-called UFO. That's a chariot, a gold one. And the satellite caught this on the outside of the earth. You know, this is, and it says a UFO mothership, which, you know, it's a fathership, a chariot. And it says 3,000 miles wide, disc caught. So they say this is 3,000 miles wide. That's wide in Texas. And this is a chariot on the outside of the earth, man. Why you think Donald Trump want this this space army? We're going to get into that too, man. But yeah, we're going to be caught up in this, man. That's the clouds. That's your cloud right there. Okay, verse 10. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, this is talking about Yahweh Shah, who you ignorantly called Jesus, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel. These were angels. Verse 11, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahweh Shai, which is taking up from you into heaven, shall also come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So he said he's going to come also in like manner. He's coming back on these chariots. He's coming back. And that's why when you go to, matter of fact, Revelations, and see the Edomites, so-called white men, know that he's coming back. And they are preparing to fight him when he returns. Revelations 1 and 7, it says, behold, he cometh with clouds. He coming with these chariots. This is what Yahweh Shai, who you ignorantly call Jesus, he's coming with these chariots, my people. All right? And every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. So even the ones that pierced him when he was on the cross, they going to see him. That lets you know about reincarnation. They already here. They going to see him when he come. He's going to hell them. He's going to put their ass to death. Salakia for my words, but he's going to put them to death. That's why I say, and they also which pierced him. It made sure it put their name in here. And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. That kindred just means tribes, the Israelites. You know, you so-called Negroes and Hispanics and Native Americans that didn't want to come back to this word and rehearse these laws, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability. That didn't want to call the Father Yahweh. Y'all wanted to call him God or Yahweh, all these names that's not his. His name is Yahweh. And didn't want to call the Son Yahweh Shai. Y'all wanted to call him Jesus and Christ and all these names. Yeah, they're going to be welding because they're going to get put to death on this side. Yeah, 2/3 got to go. Now let me show you. This is why Trump is preparing to fight. He's preparing to fight Yahweh Shai and the angels, Michael and the archangels as well when they return. Listen to this.
The redesigned Pilot, with room for up to 8. From Honda.
Heritage as the world's greatest spacefaring nation. The essence of the American character is to explore new horizons and to tame new frontiers. But our destiny beyond the Earth is not only a matter of national identity, but a matter of national security. So important for our military, so important, and people don't talk about it. When it comes to defending America, it is not enough to merely have an American presence in space. We must have American dominance in space. So important. Very importantly, I'm hereby directing the Department of Defense and Pentagon to immediately begin the process necessary to establish a Space Force as the 6th branch of the armed forces. That's a big statement. We are going to have the Air Force and we are going to have the Space Force, separate but equal. It is going to be something so important. Legions of...
So he's telling you that's why he's preparing this Space Force, man. Because they know that the Yahweh Shai is returning. They know he's returning, man. And so they're going to prepare to fight him, these Edomites, so-called white men. They're going to prepare to fight him. And they're going to lose. We already know that. But they know that what's out there. And they're trying to tell you that there are little green aliens. So they're trying to give you fear of your deliverance, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, of your salvation. Salvation means to be delivered from the enemy. Now listen to him. Listen to what he said.
Okay, but if there are crowds.
Listen to what he said about these chariots, these so-called UFOs, these chariots of Israel, these clouds and whirlwinds. Listen to his story, and then we'll end this thing.
Okay, but if there are craft, there are beings.
Okay, people would have asked me about, I call them vehicles, okay?
Right.
No, I did not call them objects. That was too neuter for me.
Okay.
I had a Stanford professor say you ought to call them objects. No. They have all of the qualities of a vehicle. Mm-hmm. They can move. They're just like a missile or anything like that. So that much we can say about them, for sure.
Okay.
So I'm calling it a vehicle.
Okay.
Okay, somebody comes along and says, well, now where would you manufacture one that's 2.5 Earth lengths long? And that's a hard question to answer.
So are you not positing the idea that those vehicles contain, beings who are, maybe like us?
Yeah, I only go along with government images. And if you want to know about people kind of thing, there is the ship that picked up the Voyager capsule at Alameda Naval Shipyard, and they have a picture there of I think it's the Apollo flight that Buzz and Neil were on. But anyway, there is one image there that shows black people getting off.
So people with dark skin getting off?
Not dark, black.
Black skin?
Really black. Yeah.
Were they tall?
Yes.
Very tall?
Yeah.
How tall? Do you know?
Well, they got out the door.
So they let you know that the angels that's on these chariots, these so-called UFOs, are people, man. They're angels, man. They're so-called black people, man. They Hebrews, man. Well, you know, they spiritual. I mean, they're I don't want to say they Hebrew, but you know, they speak Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? They the angels, and they look just like us, identical. They just different shades of brown. They got afros too. So that's what's on these chariots, and that's gonna be our ride. So if you stand faithful to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, that's the cloud, the whirlwind, the chariot that you're gonna endure. That's gonna be your ride. So with that being said, I'm gonna say Shalom Israel.